The Good Buddies Anime Podcast is hosted by two rowdy, foul-mouthed American cowboys. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, Good Buddies, what's up? Welcome into the Good Buddies Anime Show. I am your good buddy, Roger.
And I am your good buddy, Brandon.
And I know that we said we're going to try not to do it every 2 weeks, but right now that's kind of how it's going.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
You know.
It do what it do.
Sometimes it be like that.
Yep.
But we are back again with a question, Roger.
Yeah.
For these two different shows that we watched and talked about, we're going to talk a little bit about Tokyo Revengers. We're going to talk a little bit about those Snow White notes. Not doing full-on reviews. We have a simple question. Roger, should it be on your app, or is it a stanky crap?
Okay.
Is it a streamer or a steamer?
See, I never know how many questions are coming now.
I was trying to think of another one right then. You saw me take a pause.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm
I
not
was
gonna
like,
force it. It's gonna take too long.
Did I miss a cue or?
It's gonna take too long. But yeah, we're back with more streamers or steamers. Yeah. It writes itself.
Yeah.
Streamers and steamers. So let's talk about it. Let's just get right on into it. We are talking about two different shows already mentioned. Tokyo Revengers and those Snow White notes. Roger, I'm going to leave it up to you. Which one are we doing first?
We're going to do Tokyo Revengers first.
Let's talk about Tokyo Revengers first. And as we said before, we're going to talk about these shows. Not a full-on review. We'll kind of go through our list we usually do for the review. But we are not rating them. They are ongoing. Currently, I believe they're both up to... Actually, I think one's on episode 9, and I believe Snow White Notes just hit episode 10 today. Mm-hmm. Which I know neither of us has watched that one. We'll get to all the stuff. But in the end, we're going to do what we always do. It's a review of a recommendation. Do we think you should check them out? And there can only be one answer. We can have all the little caveats and all the little things we want to say about it. Maybe if you like this, you'll like it. Maybe if you like that, you'll like it. Maybe you should skip it if this. But in the end, it's going to be up to us. Is it a streamer or a steamer?
Mm-hmm.
Roger, tell me about Tokyo Revengers.
Tokyo Revengers is a cool little sci-fi take.
Mm-hmm.
A guy is kind of withering away, wasting away, kind of like a NEET in his apartment bedroom.
Shitty job, shitty house, shitty life.
Everything kind of sucks. And before he knows it, he's fallen onto the train tracks for whatever reason. Looks like he might have got pushed.
No, he might have got pushed.
And he wakes up. And he is 13 years old again.
It's like 12 years ago, is it?
Yeah.
12 years in the past. And suddenly he's back with his goofy-ass blonde hair faux hawk, like middle school gang, basically. Just a bunch of ruffians.
Wannabe street tough.
Wannabe street toughs. And find out real quick, him and his shitty little hoodlum buddies, the real street toughs don't fuck around with you like that.
Yeah.
And you find out that basically this is where it started. He became more or less a slave for this gang, doing all their bidding, doing whatever they said. They beat every inch and every little bit of will this kid had out of him until finally he managed to break away when he was an adult, just to end up being kind of a shitty dude with a shitty life and a shitty nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But the big kicker here is that he finds out before he travels back in time, right. He finds out that he sees a story about this girl who he used to date who died in some kind of attack, some kind of gang violence thing. And now back in time, he realized, oh, she's still alive. And without giving everything away, he finds out he can kind of go back and forth through time, and he's trying to keep her from dying.
Right.
Which to do that involves him not just being a peon in this gang, but moving up and seeing how things are moving and what led this, honestly, just kind of a regular ass bunch of toughs to become such a violent and despicable gang that they did.
It's another anime this season, similar to Vivi, where it's a story of altering the past to change the future.
Indeed. And of course, with any timey-wimey bullshit, there's gonna be maybe a plot hole or two, but
yeah,
whatever. It's you know, you turn off your brain, you have a good time. Maybe don't turn your brain all the way off because there is some weird shit in here, but that's the story and setting basically. Yeah, It's all taking place in Tokyo, etc., etc.
Right.
How about the characters in development, bud? You got anything to say about that?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not great.
Yeah.
The characters there are some of them that are somewhat likable. There are some that are more likable than others.
Mm-hmm.
There are some that are just kind of like they're very average. They're very backgroundy, and I don't even know if they're supposed to be backgroundy or not.
Yeah, like his kind of running buddies who he hangs out with. You get the sense that, I mean, you see one of them at least so far in the past and in the present.
Correct.
And it feels like it's supposed to be more of an emotional moment when you run into him again.
Yeah, but it's not.
It doesn't really land. Yeah, it doesn't really. Most of the development is taken up by our dude, by the girl he's into, and by the two kind of leaders of the gang.
Yeah.
And we so far have only seen our main guy in that present timeline. And he doesn't, I mean, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. Like, if we run into maybe these other dudes, maybe they'll have something else to say about it. But, I mean, first of all, you got to make sure they all make it, you know? Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting... It's not a bad show. Let's talk about it.
It's not.
Where are we at on this one? We're both all the way caught up?
Yeah, we are.
We are both current on this one. We both watched all 9 episodes of this sucker so far. So that's one thing to get out of the way. Yeah, how do you feel about it, man?
Well, I guess, this will probably take a little bit from the je ne sais quoi. But,
let's just run it all together.
Yeah.
How about, I mean, do you have anything
yeah, we don't have to go over the categories.
Yeah, we don't have to go through the categories.
We're changing the show on the fly.
It's happening. So deal with it.
One thing, so to start out, something it's not really off-putting, but it's just a strange, the animation.
Yeah.
It's like a strange ground for me because it's not particularly bad. It's certainly not particularly good. The way that I can put it is, if you've ever seen High Score Girl, the animation is similar to that, but nowhere near the charm.
Yeah. But High Score Girl was like very obviously like, 3D rendered.
Yes.
Right?
I actually feel like this one is pretty obviously 3D rendered.
See,
it's
I didn't
just
really
not
get
great.
That. I didn't really get that.
It's just very flat.
Okay.
It just, I don't know. It's not done well. It is certainly not Land of the Lustrous. That's what we always go to.
See, I didn't even
when you do the CG, because it is the CG. I don't know how you haven't noticed it, because normally you pick it out way more than I do. But yes, I notice the CG all the damn time in this show.
I really haven't noticed it at all.
It's just
we're watching different shows. Shit.
Yeah. It's just kind of drab, I guess. It doesn't blow me away. I mean, I'm not gonna. It is the most one that I've ever seen. Like, if we were to give this a score, it would be pushing it hard to get that one.
Okay.
And the characters themselves, once again, sometimes it's a little hard to care about some of them, and the show also, I think, shoots itself in the foot a whole lot with reveals and stuff. Like, it does a really good job of building up these cool mysteries and then them flatlining.
Okay.
Or just getting kind of pushed away into the plot soup as it goes forward into whatever direction it's heading.
Let's get a little spoiler. You got a specific there?
I think, let me think of a good one.
Spoiler alert, obviously.
Yeah. Now it's going to be hard for me now that
Just think of a specific.
Yeah.
Put your ass on the spot. Ha ha ha. This is how we get them, kids.
One thing in particular I can think of is, so there is obviously somebody pushed him into the train tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And we get the reveal as to who probably, I'm assuming, they said they did it, so they did it.
Yeah.
Who pushed him in the train tracks.
Mm-hmm.
The reasoning for it, there was almost none of it.
Sure.
And then he comes to the wild conclusion, like, how else is time travel?
Yeah, somebody jumped down and saved you. How could that have happened unless you can time travel? This is a thing that I talked about on the podcast, even not on the podcast. Well, I mentioned it previously, but on the Twitter, I had a post about this on TGB_anime pod. Check us out. But I was like, man, it was that exact scene. Yeah. The leaps in logic that these characters make zero sense. It's like, there's no way you would have thought that. Another one, I'll just give you this one. The girl who he's into, her little brother, the reason that he is on this quest, the reason he didn't die when that train was flying at him is because in that first episode, he tells her little brother that in the past, this is what happened. I died on this day and you guys died just a day or two before that. It's really crazy. Remember this date and see if you can stop it from happening. And he couldn't stop his sister from dying, but he did jump on the tracks and stop this guy from getting killed by a train. He then comes to the insane conclusion that here's how the time travel works. I bet if we shake hands, that's what does it.
Yeah.
Why would you think that? I mean, he's right, but why would you think that?
Yeah.
It doesn't track. And I don't know if that's something that is explained better in the manga, and they're just like kind of shuffling through it, or if it's just y'all are real good at guessing. But like, I guess, so the alternative,
it's all very flat, man.
The alternative is either A, they figure it out with this insane leap of logic, which is what we've opted for, or B, we spend a long time trying to figure it out, which I guess, or C, he tells them, because he doesn't tell the guy, yeah, I can travel through time. The guy guesses. But you can't really do that with the, I bet if we shake hands.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's off-putting.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, I feel like it often hits very flat. The show itself, I guess before I talk about this, I will say that I do like the opening and outro. The music in the show is pretty good.
Oh, yeah. The intro, we talked about this before, but I feel like the beginning of that intro really rocks when it's got that piano going, dun, 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 like that kicks ass, and then it kind of goes into like a regular ass poppy song. But the full track, if you listen to it online, is killer.
Yeah, they're both good songs. But the main thing that I want to say about this show is that it has some really decent highs. I wouldn't say they're amazing, but it does have some high moments. There is fun to be had in this show. There are some genuinely good moments between, these kids bonding and stuff that make you smile. I quite liked it. There's a whole lot in the middle, and there are some weird lows. But overall, the show does maintain, even though the mystery that they put out different mysteries, it feels like, in this one giant mystery. And even though some of those are flat, the main one is still interesting.
Sure.
As it progresses and trying to figure out, how they got to where they got in the future. But the show, I'm enjoying it for the most part, but I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I want to like it more than I do. But it's definitely kind of running in the middle. We'll have to see how it ends.
Yeah, it's definitely one where I don't know. I'm in it for the long haul. I mean, I'm in it for the big ride. Baby.
Also, can I put in one more thing?
Sure.
It is very weird trying to discern whether or not this guy do I consider him 13 or do I consider him a grown ass adult?
See,
trying to kiss his childhood
yeah, that
sweetheart.
is a little weird. Now you bring it up, that is pretty weird.
Yeah, it is a little fucking strange.
Yeah,
and like I'm gonna give it a pass, but but it is because this guy definitely is a virgin living in his apartment bedroom, which looks like fucking shit.
Damn, bitch, I live like this.
Yeah. And he, it gets to a moment where he's about to kiss a girl, and he's like, "This is my first kiss."
Can't believe it.
Yeah.
His phone rings. He doesn't even get it.
Yeah.
Loser.
Later on, you get the Spider-Man scene or whatever, and also another very flat reveal as to who's going to save his sorry ass.
Yeah.
But that's just another one of those. That was a good example I could have went to.
Yeah. I think for me, I don't know, man. I don't think I'm as off-put by all of it as you. The biggest thing for me is how those just absurd leaps in logic just absolutely make zero goddamn sense.
This is a grown-ass adult putting the works on a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, it is basically. See, I hadn't even considered that. It's just, I didn't even think about it. It's just, he spends so much, the show is mostly him in the past now, but remembering that, oh yeah, he did live a full, like so far through his life, and now he's in his 13-year-old body again. Yeah, no, I hadn't even considered it. I was just thinking of him as that 13-year-old kid, but he's not. Yeah, that's fucked up. It's pretty weird. But
I'm sorry.
No, you definitely wrinkled my brain there, bud. That definitely you definitely hit me with one. But I don't know. The art style for me, again, I haven't noticed any kind of CG stuff. Does it go back and forth? Is it only during fights, or is it the whole time?
It's the whole time. It's like how High School Girl is done the whole time. Some of it is flatter. It's more deceptive.
I didn't even get that.
I would say 2.5D.
It all looked pretty flat to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I'm
just
keep
looking, man. Eventually,
I was
you'll
watching
see
it here while you were talking. I was like,
Okay.
I am not seeing it.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but yeah, I guess I'll find out. But yeah, art wise, it's very average. I definitely agree with that. Music wise, intro and outro are decent. Overall, it's all kind of okay, but it's nothing to really nut your pants about, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know. And with that, let's get to it, buddy. You got anything else to say?
No, I don't, man.
All right, well, let's break this bitch down then. Roger, is it a streamer or a steamer?
I'm gonna call it a streamer. I think the mystery is worth checking out. Hopefully, it ends well.
Yeah, I do want to keep watching it. I'd call it a streamer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm into it right now.
I mean, it's teetering, dude. It's beating on the door, asking to be let out. But
I would say I wish that. So I've a major complaint for me in the first few episodes anyway was that they kind of had the girl as like just she's the girl. She's the MacGuffin. She's the the damsel that he's trying to save, even though she doesn't realize it. But then in these last few episodes, they have given her more agency, not a lot more, but more. There's a great scene where she just straight up tells off two of the toughest gang members in the fucking city, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, I don't know.
Which I do like those gang members.
Yeah, they're fun.
I like that Draken, man.
Yeah, man, that guy's got a cool dragon tattoo.
Yeah, it's tribal.
The scene where you see him and Mikey, those are the two. Mikey, those are the two head gang guys. You see them as their little kids. Mikey beats the ever loving shit out of some people. It's like, damn, dude. Oh, there was something else I wanted to bring up, and now I can't remember what it was. Damn. Crap. Hope maybe I'll think of it later. But yeah, I mean, that's about it.
Yep.
It's okay.
I think it's a streamer.
Wait, oh damn it.
What is it, man?
I don't know.
Pull it out.
It was another one of those moments where it's like, this is. Oh, I remember. So they have a whole thing. Cause so when he's passed out and in the past, his body is passed out and homeboy has to keep him on an IV to keep him from dying. And then he's passed out for however many days and then wakes back up. Should he wake back up? Should he get that trigger to wake him back up, which you guessed it is shaking hands with the guy when he's a kid. Anyway, there's a bit in there, maybe 2 or 3 episodes previous to where we are now, where dude's like, hey, why don't I just tell them what's happening? And he's like, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's crazy. Why don't I just tell her, like I told you, you're gonna die on this day. Why don't I just tell her she's gonna die on this day? She's like, no, that would ruin it. Oh, it's so crazy. It's like, you're not giving me a reason not to.
Yeah. Is it really that crazy?
It doesn't really make a lick of fucking sense. I don't know.
I'm assuming that he is going to say it, but
I mean, he really
I don't
should,
know.
right?
Yeah.
It feels like that would just solve basically 90% of the problems. Like, hey, take a vacation this day. Just take a day off, go out.
Because he tries to fix shit, and then inevitably fate.
Hit the hot springs, homie.
Fate.
It's his whole reasoning was she might think you're crazy or something. It's like, nah, she's in love with this dude. She'd probably be down for it. I mean, she also has already picked up on how when he's not him, he's his old shitty self, and he's going around being not being cool, ignoring her and shit. It's like, yeah, she'd totally get it. You could just tell.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've talked enough about this.
Also,
show.
It's not very hard for an adult to convince a child,
Yeah. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, that's that one. Despite all its flaws, we think it's interesting enough to check out. There you go. Tokyo Revengers. Check it out.
Yep.
Roger, how about them Snow White notes?
Them Snow White notes actually aren't all that snowy. They're more like bonky.
Yes. The shamisen.
Yeah.
The shaman. I'd always feel like I'm saying it wrong. Shamisen. The shamisen.
Yeah. So this one follows our boy
Sura something.
Setsu Saramura. he freaking rips on this instrument, and he rips on it because his grandfather ripped on it.
His grandfather
ripped on this instrument so hard that people, he went from a peasant beggar to people coming to his estate to listen to him play.
Is that big a deal?
Yeah, man.
Dude absolutely whips all the ass. He rips all the dicks. Real killer dude on that shamisen. He whip a little ass. But basically, the show starts with his grandfather just having passed away.
Yeah.
And his grandfather, one of the last things he told him was, when I'm gone, you should probably just stop playing the shamisen.
Yeah.
Which is kind of incredibly fucked up.
Yeah, but it's because he has an obsession with this song that his grandfather wrote.
Yes.
That slaps so damn hard.
He wants to be as good as his grandfather. He keeps comparing himself to his grandfather. He wants to mimic his grandfather's sound because it was the perfect sound.
Yeah, and his grandfather obviously said that because he's looking more to be somebody that he's not instead of somebody that he is.
He doesn't have his own sound. He hasn't found his own sound. And I'll tell you right now, you can honestly just skip the whole first episode of this one. It doesn't really have shit to do with shit other than what we just told you.
Yeah.
I don't know why that happened. He runs off to Tokyo, right? I think it's Tokyo. Runs into a very kind-hearted and very hot model who decides she's going to take care of this poor country boy and gives him a place to stay. And then they run into her shitty boyfriend, and then at the end of the episode, he plays his shamisen. Everybody's like, wow, he's good. And then the girl moves away, and he leaves.
Yeah, her and the shitty boyfriend are gone.
Yeah,
just like
why
that.
did that even... I don't... That's a weird pilot, dog.
But his beautiful ass mom shows up.
Umiko's amazing. Bro, she don't give a fuck. She's so hot. It's like, I couldn't hang out with this dude ever. I'd be like, dude, your mom's so fucking hot.
Yeah.
Bro, your mom's really hot.
He has got that hot mom. She's successful.
She also so they very specifically point out, so she shows up, she's got security with her. She's rich and famous enough that she's got security with her. They don't really say what she does. She's not an actress, apparently. She's not any kind of starlet. She has these fucking commercials where she's shilling her gel cream that'll really fucking keep your skin so smooth and beautiful. But they specifically say oh, is she some kind of starlet or something? It's like, no, his mom's just like that. What do you mean she's just is she a Kardashian? She's an influencer.
Yeah.
Okay, she's an influencer. Fine. What? Anyway, point is, she's fucking hot as hell. She has she's got the white hair, the ruby red lips, the matching ruby red dress, and high heels. My God, she can sing like a motherfucker, and she demands that her son be as good a player as she is a singer.
Yeah. And she's got kind of Honey Botto mom vibes.
Yeah.
Where she definitely abandoned her child.
Oh God.
You know what? But I think I will give her props up on the Honey Botto mom.
Yeah, definitely her more than Honey Botto mom.
Yeah, because she owns it.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I did kind of ditch out on y'all because I had some shit that I wanted to do, and good on you for that. You at least left them in a safe place. And
yeah. Hey, I left you a grandpa.
You didn't leave them feeling, terribly alone, waiting for you to come back, waiting for your affection or anything. So she is one small step above Honey Botto mom, but
yeah,
she definitely did abandon her child and is now back trying to figure out how to use her child in some fashion.
Yeah, dude.
But damn, is she hot as hell?
She's hot as all hell. this fucking family, I don't even know what's going on. He's got a brother who's not much older than him, but looks much older than him.
Yeah.
People think that's his dad. That's not his dad. That's his big bro. Not by much, apparently. Only a couple years, it seems like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Show's wild.
Kana or whatever.
Anyway, we've talked a lot about this hot mom. The show, how refreshing is this? It's a show about music. And there's a lot of fucking music.
There is.
There is more music in this than most of the shows about music we've talked about.
They had somebody sit down and really record some of these tracks, man.
The fucking bros, apparently.
It's good, man.
I forget. I want to say it's like...
The shamisen, it reminds me a whole lot of the banjo. And you know people can rip on a banjo. Turns out this 3-string instrument, the shamisen, people fucking rip on that too. Hammer-ons, pull-offs, picking as fast as you can. It's practically an acoustic metal guitar.
Yeah, they absolutely rip on this thing. Hang on, I'm trying to look up a thing here because I know there was a, let's see, yes, the Yoshida brothers who supervise the music in the anime. Apparently these guys are the real fucking deal. Absolutely. I mean, look at these motherfuckers. You can see them ripping it up right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are like absolute pro shamisen motherfuckers, and you can tell in this anime.
Yeah.
But, so here's the thing though, is like it's got a lot of music. It's got a whole lot of music. I will ask you to admire my candor when I admit my own failing here. There's a lot of ripping and it's really cool. It sounds an awful lot like the same song.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
You got 3 strings. I mean, how much can you really do? You can do a decent amount, actually. They rip it up every now
What
and
they
then.
need to do is get a little bit, then you get some metal strings. You know, you don't have to be so traditional all the time.
Get you an electric shamisen, plug that bitch in, turn on the wah-wah pedal.
Get you a tube screamer. Maybe a tube amp to go with your tube screamer. And you just put a little overdrive on that bad boy, fuzz it up. And that instrument could be fucking dope, dude.
It
already is dope. I want one, and they are fairly expensive. When Homeboy says it costs a whole lot of money to repair the skin on this, he is not joking.
Not fucking lying.
The cheapest ones you can get are ones with ripped skin.
Hell yeah. Because you got to pay to fix that shit. But yeah, again, I will ask you again to, I'm acknowledging my own failures and ignorance here. They do a lot in this show where they talk about how, you know, this sounds different from that, or this person's sound and that person's sound.
It's got a lot of the mumbo jumbo interpretation.
They talk a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. To me, I'm like, that sure sounds like shamisen.
Yeah.
But it's still decent.
To them, they're like, oh, now I can hear the wind in the water.
Is that wind? Snowflakes? What is this?
I catch whenever they're like, now it's getting softer. I'm like,
holy
shit, it is getting softer.
But like, so the way they interpret all that, the way they show you these things, because it's not enough. They say that this is what's happening. It sounds pretty similar the whole time to me, except for when it gets louder or softer. The way they show those things is kind of, they do the, what is it called? I said it, or synthesis, the synthesia? I forget the term, but it's like when you can, like when your senses get fucked up, like you can see sounds and hear colors and shit like that. They kind of do this thing where they're showing you these cool visuals in the anime.
Synapse, is that the word?
No, it's like synthesia or something.
Photosynthesis.
No, I'll Google it real quick.
Synthesizer.
Synesthesia.
Synesthesia. That's what I said.
It's a neurological condition which information meant to stimulate one of your senses stimulates several of your senses. Et cetera,
I love
et cetera.
getting stimulated.
Jesus Christ. Oh man, you gotta catch up on this show, bro. They had a great stimulate joke in the last episode.
Oh, good.
Anyway, that's one thing. I'm all the way caught up on this one, except for episode 10, which I watched a couple minutes ago.
I'm on 5.
You're up to 5 because you're watching it with your girlfriend Kat, who
and both of us are musicians, so she
was like, she saw you watch it. She was
I
like,
want to see this one too.
I like the shamisen. I would like a shamisen as well.
Yeah.
And there you go. But yeah, they kind of do this. I'm not going to try to say it again. They kind of do that thing where they're telling you that this sounds different and this is the emotion it's giving you by showing these visuals. You are going to see these people playing and then suddenly they're like in a snowstorm. Suddenly there's water around them. Suddenly there's like a samurai like walking past them and pulling out his sword, shit like that. It's really interesting. I wish it could make more sense with just the music.
Yeah.
But I do like the way they do it. I will say this, here's my one issue with that, is that, and I didn't really notice it until these last couple episodes, so maybe they didn't do it before, but there's legitimately moments in one of the more recent episodes where like you see this person playing, and like in the audience, you're getting the comments like, oh, is this that? Is that snow? Like that kind of thing. And then the shamisen music you're hearing literally just fades out and you're hearing a piano. And it's like, that's how hard this dude is focusing, like he's in this other world or whatever, or that's the feeling that's being conveyed with the music. And I'm like, that's great and all, you just turned off the thing that it is.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? It doesn't make a lot of sense in those moments. But the music is very good.
Yeah.
The opening rips. There are 2 different openings. You haven't seen the second.
I haven't seen the second one. The first one rips. They got that flute toot.
Yeah. You got hit that flute too, baby. The endings are great. The ending's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music during obviously is
The ending's got
pretty
cool
killer.
like rap lyrics with it.
Yeah, it's pretty sick shit. They also on the art and animation, it's pretty decent. It's like for the most part, I would say most of the show, it's like, you know, right at average, maybe a little above average.
Yeah.
But then when they zoom in on those fingies and you see them ripping up and down, they hit that fucking rotoscope like we recorded this man's fingies and went over it.
It's cool.
Ooh, it looks good.
It
looks very good.
And you can see like the detail to the wood and everything.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
nice.
It's
a
very,
very
well
cool
done. Yeah,
touch.
you can see the wood grains in these shamans. I like it.
Yeah. Now,
I
with
like
all
it.
that being said, this show does have a whole lot of schoolhouse stuff in it.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of boring.
It does get a little bit boring. It does get a little bit real boring.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
At some points, I realized I'm like, God, I'm only 8 minutes into here, and I feel like I'm slogging through Monday Night Raw right now.
Wow.
No,
Topical.
It's not that boring.
Oh, relatable. You sack of shit.
Yeah, it is a little boring.
I'll
And
have
it's,
you know I'm missing AEW for this. Come on.
yeah, that's kind of how it goes with these niche anime.
Yeah.
This is a very niche anime. It's going to appeal to people that really like the shamisen.
Yeah.
And then aside from that, you're going to have to branch into people that like music.
Yeah. I think what I told you is this is what I would call a propaganda anime.
and not even like music. Like, I could say people that like music that don't play anything would enjoy Beck Mongolian Chop Squad.
Yeah. That's a good
This
fucking
one,
show.
I feel like you're gonna need to be more of a musician to really kind of have to enjoy this one. Now, that being said, I'm not saying that is gospel or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because this is still seems like it's gonna be somewhat of a tournament anime,
Oh yeah.
but with the shamisen,
I'll tell you up to
which is neat.
episode 9. We in that competition, baby. We actually just saw the end of one competition and the immediate beginning of another. So. But yeah, I told you before, this is what I would call a propaganda anime where it's trying to make me believe that this thing is very cool and worth doing. This one works a lot better as propaganda because I do enjoy watching them play the shamisen. Works a lot better than Burning Kabaddi, which is a propaganda anime that wants me to care about Kabaddi, and I just fucking don't. Kabaddi. Sorry, I just don't.
If I had a shamisen, would I rip all over it? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Did I already have my fiance check with her work to see if she could get one? Absolutely.
And
they're like $1,000.
hell yeah, baby. Sell you some more magic cards. Maybe you can afford a
I
show
guess
machine.
so. Because I do better the fewer strings I have.
That's his whole thing. He's good at guitar. He's great at bass. He'll murder you on a shamisen.
Yeah.
You get this boy on a 1-string
I gotta
violin.
get what is it? The washboard, not the washboard, the mop or whatever in the bucket.
Yeah, the fucking bucket with the 1 string on it. Jesus Christ, you fucking idiot. Anyway, yeah. I will say a little bit more. I do enjoy. Again, I'm ahead of you. I do enjoy some of the development we're getting with the class. There's not a whole lot of it, but there's enough that it keeps it interesting that you still care a little bit about these characters. It is mostly our main dude show, mostly, but you do get a little bit more from these side characters, and you do get a lot of fun little moments with them that are not necessary development, but they are like cool jokes, fun little bits.
This show did make me laugh from time to time.
Yeah, there's a couple moments where one of the girls who's part of the like shamisen group in school, like she has a friend that she met online who's also in this competition, and that friend like seems like she knows something about our main dude, so she's like, oh my god, are they gonna make out? And it's like kind of fun, shit like that. But overall, like, it is about this dude and his music and his family.
Yeah.
Even though you do get a decent amount of the class in there.
Yeah. And I think this show could be, in my opinion, it could be better and more accessible to people if it was like homeboy that plays shamisen joining a band and it's focusing on this guy that plays an instrument that's not typically in bands or that you ever see or whatever, and how they meld the music, kind of like how the opening song is.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of instruments in there, and the shamisen is a focus, but there is a backing band and it rips.
This was a conversation I had with Haley when we were watching it, because it's like, there's moments where you see like this dude and his brother just go to this little shrine and just sit down and play music, and it's like, this is the kind of shit I can't really. It's such a very traditional, very specific kind of music that's happening that it's either gotta be a thing you are ultra passionate about or a thing that you are doing competitions for, which this is both of those things. It's not the kind of thing that I can't imagine someone picking up a shamisen and just like sitting on the street and playing it to get money, you know? It's one of those things like with a guitar or something, and you couldn't take a guitar and do the things they're doing with it necessarily, like not with the same impact. Whereas like Mongolian Chop Squad Beck, that's a show about a band. It is a band. They are trying to become successful. So it makes so much more sense with the kind of instruments they're doing. It's like a thing where it's a very specific instrument and therefore a very specific show, I feel.
Yeah.
Like you can do a similar story with other stuff, but not the same way. But yeah, I'm into it. We also like what's like the equivalent to this? Because this is like, you know, an old school fucking instrument that has historical significance. It's something I have difficulty relating to as an American because we don't really get that.
Apparently you can't get one of those for under $1,000 here from the biggest musical retailer in America.
But like, it's one of those things where motherfuckers were playing shamisens before our country existed. God damn it! Like, what do we don't have anything to relate to that. So it's definitely a thing that like I'm very interested in, but I don't know. As a show, it's definitely fun, but I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
So let's get to those scores.
Yeah.
Or the final score.
Yeah, the grade or whatever.
The grade for it. What do you think, big boy?
Dude, I'm gonna give it the pass, man. I'm gonna call it a streamer. I do enjoy this show. And I think I would take a chance saying that with the moments of levity and stuff in this show, and that hot mom, and
bro, are you looking for MILFs? You come to the right place, my man.
And just watching a show about somebody being passionate about something, even if it's not totally relatable, is okay. It is a very narrowly eked into the streamer area. But if you didn't stream it, I would understand.
All right.
In my opinion, I would still try to recommend this to somebody.
I gotcha. I think this is the first time I'm breaking ranks, baby. I'm gonna call it a steamer. I really enjoy this show, but it's not the kind of thing I feel like I could just recommend to any old body.
True.
It's a very specific thing, and I'm enjoying it, but the thing is, I wasn't really into it until I got so many episodes in.
Would you have watched it if we didn't do an anime podcast?
I wouldn't have watched it past episode 3. No, probably not.
Would you have watched it at all if we had not done an anime podcast?
If we hadn't done an anime podcast?
If Good Buddies were
I wouldn't be watching any of these goddamn shows. You kidding?
Okay.
I'd be sitting at home fucking playing Mass Effect all day, which I'm doing also.
Yeah, hanging out.
Downtown by myself.
Hanging around, hanging brain.
You know it. You know me. I be laying on my ass doing literally nothing, butt ass naked on my bed. No. I told you. I mean, I had this show.
That's
I forget exactly where I had it on the tier list, but it wasn't very high.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a straight up garbage. I think it might have been in the boring section.
I think this show is more fun than one would imagine if you give it a chance.
You have to get into it though.
Yeah.
If you get 3 in and you don't want it,
if you don't like the way the shamisen sounds, you ain't gonna like this.
No, this is why we always say rule of 3. You get 3 in, you just drop it because it ain't getting radically different than that 3rd episode. Like you got 1, 2, 3. All right, we're done. Like that's it, baby. Yeah, like I said, really, you could get by with that 1st episode, except the 1st episode has nothing to do with the rest of the show. Again, you can just skip that 1st one. Maybe that's a selling point. It's only 11 episodes, technically.
Yeah, I actually did like that 1st episode, too.
It was fine. It just has nothing to do with the show.
It's true.
It has nothing to do
I did
with
not
the show.
see the 2nd episode's turning in the way that it did.
Yeah, no kidding.
It is what it is.
I think that about does it. So, again, Tokyo Revengers, we both think it's a streamer. Snow White Notes, we split, baby. That's a streamer for Roger and a steamer for Brandon. There can only be one answer. And I'm saying flush it. Sorry. I am going to keep watching that show, though. So I'm a hypocrite. What do I know? That said, Roger, what are we doing next week?
Dude, you got to tell them because I don't remember the name of these shows.
All right, let me pull them up because I remember one.
You got to tell them why.
Here's the thing. Tokyo Revengers is a show that is being put on by, I don't know if it's Leiden or Lydon. I'm going to say Leiden Films.
I'm going to say Leiden.
All right. I feel like there'd be another E in there if it was Leiden, but I'm going to say Leiden. Leiden Films, the animation studio out of Japan, of course. There's two other shows that are also being put on by this same studio, and it is my understanding that one of these other shows, despite being something that a genre, let's say, that is not always so well received, is getting the bulk, it seems, of their budget.
Mm-hmm.
And the other, which apparently is a, based on a fairly beloved story from a fairly well-known writer, is not getting much of that budget. And I kind of want to just put these two together and see how those things compare. So we're going to be talking about...
yes, Leiden. Okay, so I knew... It
is Leiden?
Yeah, I don't know. But I knew this anime studio. I knew earlier when you mentioned
let me get the titles out, and then we can talk about that. Maybe in the ramble.
Okay.
That'll be the first thing we talk about in the ramble.
Just know that I knew it.
Hey, that's a little spoiler for y'all. We're going to be talking about that in the ramble, whatever Roger just found. But we're going to be talking about two shows, streamers or steamers, Seven Knights Revolution Hero's Successor, which is an anime based on a mobile game, I believe, and Farewell, My Dear, I'm going to say Kramer. I believe that's the title there, which is based on a manga by a fairly prolific writer who, I don't have his stuff pulled up here, so I'm not gonna, absolutely embarrass myself, but you probably heard of a few of this person's things. Hang on, here we go. Yes, Your Lie in April. Naoshi Arakawa is the writer of this manga, who worked on a few different things, including Your Lie in April, a few other things you may have heard of, but that's the one I've heard of. And Farewell, My Dear Kramer is one of theirs that I have heard from people who actually read manga. Haha, sorry. That they preferred Farewell, My Dear Kramer to some of their other works. This is apparently a fairly beloved work that is getting maybe not a love in the anime. So we're going to put these two together and find out. So that's Farewell, My Dear Kramer, and God, I already forgot the name of the other one because it's so fucking stupid.
Nights.
Seven Knights Revolution, Successor of the Will. No, Hero Successor. Seven Knights Revolution, Hero Successor.
And that's why the good buddies come here, for our keen sense of professionalism and our ability to remember things.
Yeah, you'll just edit all that so it sounds good, right?
If I remember.
No, you won't. You fucking won't. You're going to just leave me hanging because he loves it when I sound like an idiot.
No. And I only changed what I said one time.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, that's what we're going to be talking about next time. Look forward to it. We are going to have us a ramble, full plugs at the end of the ramble. But I think that about does it, baby boy. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. Well,
good.
From all of us here at the Good Buddies Universe, we will see y'all around, and love ya.
Love ya.